I mean, who did you think I was talking to?
Yeah, I mean, wait.
TJ doesn't know what he's trying to do.
Hello and welcome to Mana Biscuit, your weekly RJ, TJ, and J podcast, I guess. This is episode number 26. I am, well, you probably guessed it already, RJ. With me are my co-hosts, Jay and TJ. That's why it's the RJ, J, TJ podcast. All
I
right.
think you flipped that a bit. Because I think TJJ the first time.
Okay. Or it's a J, RJ, TJ, or a TJ,
Yeah, I like
RJ,
J, RJ, TJ, order of importance, mind you.
Well, inverted, but yes.
Oh, wait, so you admit to being second fiddle to TJ?
You know what? That's okay.
That's, you know,
Oh.
He knows his limitations.
The way I see it, TJ's this way over the top personality. You're a little neurotic.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Jay's a little neurotic, and I just try to be
Balance
the glue.
between the two.
I try to be the bologna in the middle. You're the mustard, and TJ is the mayo with
White
olive
bread.
oil. White bread. I like that better.
White bread.
Yes. All right. Anyway, sandwich analogies aside, how you guys doing?
We can't hear you.
What happened?
What?
You
I
can't
can
hear
hear
me?
No, I can hear you. We can't hear the people that are responding to us how they're doing.
Oh, no.
I think he was talking to us.
I was
as opposed to
asking you guys specifically how you were doing. I mean, who did you think I was talking to?
Yeah, I mean, wait. Please leave in the comments how you guys are all doing, and
we need those comments.
We do need those comments. But anyway,
you guys will do anything for comments. Personally, I don't.
not
care.
anything.
I will do anything for love, but I won't do that.
Yes,
Not
you
that.
will. See, that's the thing. You will do anything for love, and
And
you'll
I'll
do that.
Meatloaf didn't know his game, son.
No, Meatloaf ultimately had limitations and drew lines in the sand.
It's like-
You, sir, do not have any shame or limitations as far as what you will do for love or attention
Jay,
or anything else.
Just hearing people say
As someone who had to stand with you in
goodness,
line
no.
at Gen Con,
Stop.
you have
All
little
right.
room to talk, my friend.
I
That's all I'm
know,
going to say.
I know.
All right. Speaking of no shame, what I believe there's no shame in this game, son.
There was
is what
no
he said to
shame,
me.
but
Is what he said to me.
I flirted outrageously there. All right, fine.
Well, you tried to.
I tried to.
Moving along, this week we're going to
I'm
talk
ashamed
about.
of myself.
This week we're going to put our shame aside, or just leave it at the forefront, or maybe our shame is the underlying motivation for this podcast and our need for validation.
I will lay it bare.
You know, that's probably pretty accurate.
Yeah, it really is.
I think we've cut to the heart of the matter. So
I don't need to do this anymore.
we've had a breakthrough, Doc. All right, but
All right.
we're going to talk about
That having
TV.
been said,
We're
yes,
going to talk
let's
about television.
Let's talk about.
Go ahead. What are we going to talk about,
we
Jay?
We did a no particular order on the top 5 television shows. We had a couple of honorable mentions that really need to be brought up, and some sort of homage paid to them. But what I'd like to see is this is September 21st. We're recording this on September 21st. It'll come out sometime this week. But we've got new seasons of television shows coming up. Exciting. Yes. Like specifically today, Gotham Rise of the Villains, episode 1. Yes, I know everybody hates it but me. What can I say?
Welcome to my life with Star Trek.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
Who
the
hates
show that
Star Trek?
I do.
Oh, you're a weirdo. I don't love Star Trek, but I don't hate Star Trek.
If you think Abrams' Star Trek is the best Star Trek, you hate Star Trek.
Yes.
Oh, I don't think it's the best. The Next Generation is probably my favorite amongst them, but it riles you up. So
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay,
I don't
focus
quite
Star
go
Trek.
off the deep end like Jay does, but you gotta it's all about equal opportunity.
The only Star Trek I actually enjoyed is
speaking
Deep
of being
Space-
all about equal opportunity, Jay, continue.
Oh goodness, there's 2. Wait, one because you had the shot at the other one, so just one.
Yeah.
All right. Keep a running count, people.
Of what? This is a
Us.
different show now.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, fine.
We assume
Fine.
everybody also watched no particular
Particular
order, but
order,
we perhaps should not do that.
Yeah, we should probably not do that. Ultimately, we're keeping a running count of the number of the gay references and innuendos directed towards me for whatever unknown reason.
You're a handsome man.
And I am a handsome man. Thank you.
Very. You clearly take a large interest in your personal hygiene and grooming.
Indeed. I mean, dude, do you know how hard it is to live with a shaved head? It is difficult.
Anyway, TV shows.
What are we talking about?
I don't know.
We're talking about television shows here.
What are we doing today?
We're doing an episode of Mana Biscuit, TJ. Don't you know what those are by now? It's this.
You're filming this?
Yeah.
Is anybody gonna watch this?
Probably not.
Anyway, so you were talking about shows that came out this season. You mentioned Gotham. Okay, fair enough. Give me a show.
Gotham. We've got the next thing of American Horror Story coming out next month.
Next month also Walking Dead.
Walking Dead also next month. We got Fear of the Walking Dead came out 3 weeks ago now.
And it'll be wrapped up just in time for the main series.
Mm-hmm. Things like that. Shows that have piqued our interest for some time, or shows that are new and exciting. First one that I really, really have to plug because it's a dying series is Defiance. Sci-Fi Channel has done some really, really good stuff, starting way back when with Lost Girl and a couple of others, and they've been trying to do rather than bad movies, B television shows now, and some of them are exceptional, some of them are terrible. Defiance is a diamond in the rough in that show. It's on that channel. It's 3 seasons in. Has hooked me from the start and is outstanding.
All right.
What else? Little gems, guys.
Little gems? How about a big gem? How about something that just premiered that like rules the damn world right now and you didn't mention at all? How about Dr. Frickin' Who?
Yes. Dude, I forgot that aired. I haven't sat down to watch it.
I just watched it. I didn't watch it the night of. I was busy, but I watched it last night. And in spite of the mixed reviews I've been seeing online, I was a fan. I absolutely loved it. I'm also in the minority in loving Jenna Coleman. I'm going to be sad to see her go, but this was a great episode for Jenna Coleman. And also Missy. Oh my God, Missy is probably my favorite villain incarnation of the Master that I have ever seen. Every time she's on screen, I get this big old grin on my face because she's just so tasty as a villain. All right.
TJ?
What about you, TJ? What's new for you?
I'm not looking forward to anything.
Oh,
why?
That is so sad.
I know. I live in a sad world.
Your life is a black abyss.
Well, I mean, I'm obviously somewhat looking forward to The Walking Dead, just like a lot of other people are. Although what I was thinking about while you guys were talking about your particular shows that you really enjoy is how lucky I feel at it seems relatively new, although it may not be. But I remember a period in time where like the season for TV shows was uniform. And now it seems like there's always one of the shows that I particularly enjoy on the air at any given time.
Sure.
Like we're coming up on Walking Dead, and when that's done, it'll be time for Game of Thrones. And then when Game of Thrones is done, hopefully another season of like True Detective, or like there's always something in my wheelhouse that's coming one on the heels of the other, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I would agree.
Which it feels like it's only been the past couple of years.
That really started picking up for me. Well, I say a couple of years, but that's just because I'm getting old and years squished together. But it probably picked up for me in 2005 with like Heroes, and then
which is another show that's coming up.
Actually,
soon.
yeah,
That's pretty good.
Does anybody? I have not. I've made a note of not looking at that series simply based on the fact that what happened with the writer's strike and everything else. It still doesn't sit well with me. That show got destroyed because of that whole thing, and it still doesn't sit well with me. It holds a special spot in my heart, and I would love to see more of it, but I don't know what they're gonna do with this.
It actually
And
looks pretty cool from what I've heard. Like, I haven't watched any of the clips or anything. I've just read some stuff, heard some things. But it's obviously set after the fact, and it's pretty much a world after. Because at the end, I didn't even watch the fourth season because by that point I didn't care. But at the end of the fourth season, I understand that Claire revealed herself as powered to the world.
Yeah, she did, and there was also this weird thing with like a carnival. Yeah, it was a terrible season for a show that had, well, we already talked about the writer's strike ruined that show. It could be kind of cool, but what I was saying is, for me, it kind of started back then, and it really hit its stride, I think, in 2007 when I started watching True Blood. And then True Blood led into Boardwalk Empire, and then
good show.
Yeah, and then a couple of years after that, Game of Thrones picks up. So it went Game of Thrones, True Blood, Boardwalk Empire. I mean, that's April through November right there. So there's still a little bit of a dearth because I never really got into The Walking Dead. But if The Walking Dead was in there, that's the year-round cycle we're talking about. So.
Well, then they also. It seems like a lot of the basic stations are saving that ace in the hole for that mid-season, takeoff.
True Detective actually came out in that period initially too.
True Detective. So did the 100, which they continue to hold on to as a ace in the hole for the upcoming whatever they're going to take out come January. Which is inevitable that they're going to take something.
Well, CW has a couple of because they also just started the iZombie. They have a couple of those like half season, full season for premium cable, half season for basic cable or alphabet networks. But anyway, so that is where we are with looking forward to the fall season. Those are our shows. Leave some shows in the comments, guys, about what you're looking forward to, or don't.
Comment whores.
Hey,
what?
Hey,
what?
Don't comment, Shane. Anyway,
healthy at any comment.
That's right.
Oh, God,
we are comment positive.
We are. Yes, they're comment positive, which is.
Yes.
Anyway, moving on. All right, so we talked about
just because nobody ever talks about you, Jay.
Yeah, everybody hates me.
But
I'm a jerk.
All right. So what TJ was saying about the year-round thing, right? This was really our idea for the core of the discussion we wanted to have, because it feels like, and we said it on the show before in passing, talking about this stuff, but it feels like we're in a golden age of television. It feels like there is a plethora of really well written or really well performed or otherwise noteworthy television shows being produced right now, and I don't think that something like that can keep up. But we wanted to talk about that in two ways. I think one, maybe some factors that we've already touched on somewhat that have allowed this to be a golden age of television, and also what makes these shows that we're getting so many of really good. So in that regard, I think we talked about how you have that year-round cycle. I think the other thing that really has come up in recent history that lends itself to this golden age of television has been the on-demand format with Netflix, your TV providers allowing things on demand, your Hulus, that sort of thing. And that, I think, more than anything, really allows studios to take a risk on something that would be more serialized. Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I remember touching back on our no particular order list, and it was the X-Files, because the X-Files was also a show that started off very Monster of the Week, very episodic, and then ended up being much more arc oriented in nature. And one of the things that they did, and why a lot of the shows in the early to mid 90s always had those kind of like go nowhere throwaway episodes, was because they didn't want to have so much of a story that it was confusing if you tried to hop in.
Absolutely.
And now that you can just go on Netflix and just binge watch the entire show if that's what you choose, then they can afford to do that. They can go, instead of looking at it like, we have to have something that's appealing enough on a base level that anybody could come in on any given week and they can miss a week or two and come back and still understand what's happening. Now they can go, okay, this is more like an 8 or 10, 12-hour movie with one arching storyline, and just put it out there, because if people want to see it, they'll see it.
And I think the other thing, not only that capability, but the other thing that had to happen that has only really happened in the last few years, is networks had to catch up to that idea.
Yeah.
There are many examples of shows from, say, 5 to 7 years ago. The foremost in my mind is Jericho, a phenomenal show.
Ooh, yes.
Which really had phenomenal streaming numbers. CBS was streaming it on their website. Oh, yeah. It was on Hulu, but didn't have old school Nielsen numbers, and it got canned. It got canned way before its time. The fans brought it back for a half season, which was so-so. But yeah, Jericho was a great show because the networks just weren't there yet.
Right. Also, I don't know if you guys were fans, they did continue it as a comic book to tie up the story.
Yes.
Did they?
Yep.
I did not know this. I will have to check that out.
Yeah. So we have the advances in technology on demand and the networks catching up and getting wise to that idea.
It's really interesting that I think about it, because in our pre-show discussion, I was telling you that one of the first shows that I really recall having the sort of elements that are very commonplace now, of that like high echelon entertainment on television, was The Sopranos. Mm-hmm. And that was still somewhat before, DVRs and stuff, but it was HBO.
Right, exactly.
And they aired those episodes multiple times throughout the course of the week. Like, if you couldn't watch it I think it aired on Sunday nights, but if you couldn't watch it on Sunday, then it was aired again, like, the next day at, like, 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, and it was aired again on Wednesday, and again, like, they made sure that you had the opportunity to see it as best as they could, given the constraints of actually being a television.
Right. And also HBO is not beholden to advertisers, and advertisers set rates based on ratings, and so they had their own dynamic. They didn't necessarily have to catch up as much, so to speak, although tangentially HBO is been one of the leaders in network streaming. HBO Go is a phenomenal service, but they didn't really have the same problems. But the next question I have then, next part of this discussion, real quick.
Can you hold the question?
I can try. It's an ephemeral concept, and I do have ADD.
Okay. Well, I was going to just briefly talk about one of the cool things about HBO and HBO Now and HBO Go. Did anybody see the thing about the Emmys?
No.
Okay. Last night on the Emmys, Andy Samberg was brought up that a couple of months ago, the president of HBO had said that they don't care about password sharing. You can give as many people as you want your password. It doesn't matter to us. Just watch the shows. It's fine. It's cool. So he decided to put that to the test, and live on the Emmys gave out a valid working password and a screen name and password to sign in on HBO Now.
Wow.
And they told HBO that they were going to do a little publicity stunt for them, but not what it was going to be. And then immediately people started going nuts, and there were 8,000 mentions on Twitter within an hour, and and HBO put out some tweets and then a brief kind of press release thing going no, seriously, we still don't care. Go ahead and use it.
No kidding?
Apparently it's down now because somebody, the suspicion is that somebody logged in and changed the password to be a jerk. But for a while there, everybody that had watched the Emmys last night had access to HBO programming, and they were like, yeah, whatever.
Right, and
thank you, HBO.
Their flagship show is the most pirated show, and you don't see a lot of HBO honeypot stories, like you do with the other major networks. Will put out honeypot torrents for their shows, but HBO is just great. They're phenomenal. What more you can say? I love HBO. They gave me Bill Maher and John Oliver. They give me so many things.
Did you hold that question?
What was my? Well, I warned you. No, my question was going to be, if the advance in technology has made serialized programming more viable, is that what really makes these shows great? Or is there something else about it? Is it more about production values? Is it more about is it more about the caliber of acting that you're seeing? I don't know. I mean, I think you see. I think you can make an argument for prestige television having drawn some really big talents and actually showcasing some talents like, Breaking Bad, for example. You had the dad from Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah,
and
nobody knew Bryan Cranston could do that.
Right. Yeah, Bryan Cranston is just this guy that kind of comes out of left field, and oh my God, he was phenomenal. And so you do see a lot of high caliber acting. We were also talking about first season of True Detective and the second season of True Detective, although we disagree with popular opinion in some cases, but there were some phenomenal performances on True Detective as well. So is that all because it's allowed to be serialized? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think it's a almost like parallel evolution sort of thing.
Sure.
That as people were willing to take on more complex and involved storylines and characters on the shows, your more high end.
Yeah, you're going to attract better talent. Yeah,
actors are going to come in because they're seeing things that they want to actually do, stories they want to help tell, characters they want to portray. And then the more people start to come in from like movies and such and do television, it ups that profile even more so that people can take bigger gambles because you can get a bankable star, or because there's already like a precedent that this style of show can work, and they just are both kind of dragging each other upwards.
Sure. That's my thoughts on it exactly. I think that because you have the breathing room of serialized television to tell more complex stories, to allow for more complex character development, because you don't have to bring everything back to the status quo in 22 or 43 minutes, then you do then attract better talent, stuff that had previously, or talent that had previously only been willing to perform on the screen or the stage. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that's I don't know, Jay, did you have anything to add? I saw you a little bit there.
I'm good with the exact answer that you had.
All right. Okay, well, that's our thoughts. I think what it really boils down to is we're in this sort of perfect storm for great television right now, and enjoy it because nothing lasts forever.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Who knows what the next thing will be that'll change the face of television, but for right now, it's we're getting some pretty good shows out there. I don't know. What do you guys think? Not you guys this time, because I have to clarify, but you, our viewers. What do you viewers think about this subject, or what do you think that we have overlooked in terms of great television right now, or things that might contribute to it? Email all of your responses directly to Jay, because he doesn't want any comments.
No. Wait! It doesn't matter. I actually, you can give my email address on screen,
it'll be in the description
anyway.
It'll be in the description.
So nobody's gonna reply. Yeah. And nobody wants to talk to me. Are you kidding?
Well,
nobody wants to talk to me.
Yeah. So join TJ and I next week. All right. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap things up then. Thanks so much for watching. Click the thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment.
Please.
There you go. That's better. You did your part.
I'm trying.
All right. And for Jacob Gamble, for TJ Rathburn, I am RJ Velosky, and we will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.